Yes, these two characters are siblings, and my fault for burning your eyes, but they are indeed kissing. What kind of sick fuck could write a story like this? No. Anyone but this nigga, dog! Leave me alone! Ah!
Akira!
Ah! Ah! Reiji has a history of going on dates with Chizuru. Now you might be asking, how does he do that? Well, he bought a figure of her. This man goes on dates with a fictional character he created by bringing a statue of her along with him. He is literally in love with her. He said it on Twitter, and he's constantly drawing her in real life environments. But I wonder what he's up to nowadays. Bruh. Bro's pushing 40 and decided to create an incest manga. I've seen it all.
Many months later.
Welp, we're finally here. I thought I left Reiji in 2023 like how he left Vex Bolt in 24, but this nigga somehow managed to drop Guilty Pleasure Anime of the Year and a shadier conclusion to an arc than Tokyo Revengers in the same month. How do you do that, bruh? How do you do that? The Shiunji family anime's first season just concluded recently, and there's no going back for me after watching this shit. Might as well game it myself before it's too late. Since I can't believe I'm saying this, but this anime was fake decent. But before you throw my ass behind bars with
単刀直入に言おう。君たちは本当の兄弟ではない。
the you guys aren't actually related trope, a tale as old as time. But you might be wondering, how did we get here in the first place? This is Arata, the heir of the Shiunji family, and this is his little bro, Shion, aka Nagi from Wish. Arata is questioning, how does one get a girlfriend? When I was 16, I was wondering the same thing. Now I'm 20, watching an anime about a high school family straight out of Alabama, wondering why I still don't got one. His sisters end up barging in on him, and don't worry, I got y'all with the breakdown. First, we got the pink-haired Ouka. She's the third oldest at 16 and is a second year in high school and is known for being a top-tier student athlete. Second is Seiha, the second oldest at 17 and is a third year in high school. If you can't tell already by the fact she's alone in a lab, she's a nerd. Forget about being the smartest in the family, she got the highest grades in the school. At third, we got Minami, the fourth oldest at 15. She's a first year in high school. She's so nice at tennis that she three-peated in middle school. Serena Williams, who? Fourth is, oh my. Oh, boy! At fourth, we got Banri, the oldest at 18. She's a first year at a prestigious college and is known for being my future wife. Last but not least is Katono, the youngest at 14. A third year in middle school, her shy nature has led to her becoming the most stand sister in the verse. They be treating her like Emaru. The sisters end up pressing Arata for being a closeted horn dog, since all he ever converses about is him wanting to have a girl. Blue-haired, four eyes talking about some, did you know conversations between boys are usually 10% hobbies, 30% girls, and 60% sex? Nagi from Wish cops a plea and straight up tells the sisters that Arata said Ouka has been getting curvy in the right places recently. You'd assume based off the opening scene, these who are brothers for life, they was recreating that one Yuji in Utah panel, but whole time, this nigga a rat. Offer him some Mickey D's in the interrogation room and he's switching up faster than Gunna. Ouka ends up sending her Houndoom to use Bite on Arata, and it's super effective. Got bro hitting the Yamsa pose low key, but it's all good. His my future wife is here for the rescue, claiming that Ouka should cut Araka some slack. Obviously, a virgin teen is gonna be a little freaked out if he's surrounded by baddies 24/7 since he came out the womb.
そうかな。私はシンにはいい男だと思うけどな。
おお、さすが我が妹よ。ありがとう。KO! なんでだよ。
ごめん、さっきまで格ゲーしてて。
The next morning.
Peep it how flabbergasted these niggas are. You think someone showed them a young Neymar highlight reel, but it's just a Shiunji family. They are deadass the anime Kardashians. Like, fuck you mean they've each got their own fan club? Cut forward and we finally see Arata's crush. What could possibly go wrong? He ends up trying to add her as a friend on Snapchat later, but hesitates. This nigga not ball hog for real. Since when I was 16, anyone with a female bitmoji was getting added. No shame in my game. Was a junior in high school with a damn near 400k snap score. Stop playing with me, bruh. Ouka barges in so that she can study Arata's notes, since it turns out they're twins. This scene is starting to make a lot of sense now. Wait, Studio Dogakoba animated this series. Which studio animated Oshi no Ko? Oh, It all makes sense now. Turns out Ouka is friends with Arata's crush, so she tries to put him on Rondo style. But he blocks that shit like James, talking about some, I didn't ask for your help. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
勝手に頑張ってください。どうせ新たになんてろくなお嫁さん来ないんだから。ノートどうも。
Damn, she just called you Kyle Kuzma, bruh. That's tough, my guy! And to make things even worse, the next day on his way back home, he sees this.
お待たせ。また？
This is everyone's worst nightmare, dog. I wouldn't even wish this on my top op. That same evening, the family end up gathering for Katono's birthday dinner. It's here we get introduced to their father for the first time, and he has a big announcement to make. Happy Quince, my musubi! Instead of a traditional birthday gift, I've come up with something even better. Can y'all guess what that is? You guys are all adopted! What do you mean? That somehow the family, that everyone has a different hair color isn't related? I mean, shit, nigga, you said it yourself. Just look at you guys. Everyone looks like a different Super Saiyan transformation. I honestly expected better from you, Seiha. You the top student of your class, but couldn't do textbook biology? Now you're from wishing the tomboy or blood-related twins. But besides that, let the Alabama harem begin! Peep how Arata and Ouka look at each other after finding out they not really twins. Yeah, I know where this is going. They end up holding a meeting discussing how the reveal won't change the family dynamic at all. Arata ends up scrubbing Kotono's back like the W big bro he is, but as soon as he gets up, she hits him with the sneak attack hug. Enter Exhibit A. It all starts here. This little rascal single-handedly starts the butterfly effect of doom. To be fair though, as soon as I saw how she looked at Arata during their first interaction in the series, my danger sense activated. Just look at how she observes this family photo. She don't give a fuck about anyone else. She looking straight at Arata.
You get that they're pretty girls to everyone else, right? And what about the situation with Kotono?
You're really going there?
I mean, didn't she straight up confess to you?
There's no way.
Say what a god. Say what a god. Put that on. Say put that on Allah. Say wallahi, bro. Say wallahi. Ain't no way. This little shit been crushing on her Oni-chan since elementary school, nigga. So naturally, when it's revealed they're adopted, she has a slight blush on her, as if the gates to heaven just opened up. Even when they have their sibling meeting shortly after the news drop, everyone is trying to lighten the mood by making jokes and shit. And then there's Katono, who is deep in her thoughts, probably brainstorming never before seen positions to put her big bro in, and all that subtle foreshadowing leads to where we started. Katono clinging onto Arata from behind to tell him that she loves her. She even went out of her way to Google if it's okay for non-blood related siblings to marry.
I did some research online. Turns out non-blood related siblings can get married.
But Arata hits her with the most PR answer ever. I'm your big bro. It's my job to ensure your happiness in life, and I'll look after you until the day I see you walk down that aisle. Then nonchalantly exits the scene.
But does one's confusion ever blossom into something more than that?
No way they about to make me feel bad for this little goober, bruh. As Arata exits the bathroom, we find out one of the sisters was watching. Who, might you ask? Well, find out next time on... Kotono's character continues to develop to the point where she grows the balls to declare that she loves Arata romantically in front of all the sisters.
Because someday, I want to marry Arata.
But you might be wondering, what events led her to doing this in the first place? And in order to find that out, we gotta talk about the Whip Me See amusement park incident. And the main sister we follow during that incident is none other than my future wife, Banri. But before that, I'ma have to put Katono at a calm C rank for the Shiunji family tier list. The siblings decide to spend the day at an amusement park in order to clear their heads about everything that's happened recently. Arata and Banri end up duo queuing to get some food for the fam, but when they arrive back, the whole family despawned. And when Arata tries to call them, they don't pick up the phone. So Banri launches herself onto Arata and says they should go on a date. Introducing ISO Specialist. I want to crack and there's no reason why. Give me a complete unnecessary couples activity or I weaponize my cries. As they proceed to hang out, Banri Banri has a tendency to tease Arata. She presses her chest onto him and just give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, just give it. Damn.
I bet you're wondering why it feels extra soft and squishy on your right elbow.
Were you doing that on purpose?
No, it was a total accident, I swear. They're just so enormous, they're unwieldy. I'm sorry. It's probably too much for a virgin like you to bear.
Yeah, that's all I needed to see. Need that shit ASAP, no Rocky. Peep how flustered he is to be behind her as they walk up the stairs. Nigga looking like Dabo in that one clip. That ass is too much to handle. He ends up tripping and losing 1,000 aura. But that's alright, cuz.
Here, take my hand.
A montage of their adventures play, and they eventually sit down and talk about how they feel about the bombshell their father dropped. Arata truly hopes that their sibling relationships won't change even after the Katono cutscene, and Banri can't help herself to pet him like a dog after such a cute response. We discover that Banri has always been the sole protector of the family ever since she was young, naturally due to her being the oldest sibling. And it's here that Arata realizes that she really is the best big sis a guy could ever ask for. But shortly after he's done reminiscing on the past, a little girl trips and drops her drinks, triggering a quick time event. And you know that boy Arata completed it with the utmost swag. Got Banri feeling worried that he's about to catch a cold, but this nigga just aura farming, hitting the pose like Zoro. Nothing ever happened. Got big sis busting like crazy. New achievement unlocked. Age ain't nothing but a number. The rest of the family conveniently end up arriving right after Arata has an intimate moment with Banri, and they walk into the sunset. But Banri is like, nah, I'ma do my own thing, and grabs Arata's hand and sprints. What an MVP performance from Arata, dog. Nigga looking like shade ain't so. His whole life is consistent. And this pretty much becomes Arata and Banri's dynamic for the rest of the series. Tease has to go on a date, repeat. Shorty literally barges into his room and trolls him for getting an OF notification, then takes him out to trick for a new phone the very next episode. Also, can't forget about the time Banri forgot something on campus, so she made Arata sneak in with him at night and play IRL FNAF, and as soon as he felt some danger, nigga grabbed up all on her. 10 minutes later, she talking about some.
でもいいこともあったでしょ。腕に押し付けられた柔らかい感触。
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Yeah, this shouldn't even be a question. Banri is easily at the top of S rank. Let's rewind back to the Whip Me See incident, and Arata, Shion, and Katono trio queue to the bathroom, leaving Banri, Ouka, Minami, and Seiha alone. And Seiha reveals to the sisters that Katono confessed her feelings to Arata in the shower. Meaning, yes, the legs we saw waiting outside the bathroom were none other than Seiha's. Enter Exhibit C. Seiha is a textbook kudere. Out of all the sisters, she acts the most nonchalant, but deep down, she knows what she's doing. Ouka lied, Katono's shy, Minami might be bi, Seiha in 5. She somehow made it to Arata's room before him. She moving like Wally West, and with no hesitation, she just throws herself on top of him. Straight chest to stomach, hands caressing the stomach action. But if I take a screenshot and make this the thumbnail, I'm the villain for wanting to have a higher CTR so I can get the IRS off my ass. Just look at her face, bruh. This bit a closeted freak. She eventually spills the tea that she saw Katono holding Arata in the shower. She tries to play it off all nonchalantly, talking about some, I wanted quantifiable proof that you wouldn't succumb to any approaches from a sisters, but as soon as I saw her stare at the palm of her hand, like she is shonen protagonist, saying no real concerns, right? I knew it was GG's. This bit falling in love. The next time we see them alone together is when Arata confronts Seiha for looking out of it recently. She happily calls him out for being a knight in shining armor, and next thing you know, they're alone in a room and she's holding a Twister spin the wheel. So they start playing Twister and shit starts taking a turn hella fast as Arata is struggling for dear life, trying to keep his Diddy-like thoughts in check. Can't blame him though. If I found out I'm adopted and my quote-unquote sister is looking like this in front of me, I'm trying to go crazy. Somehow, some way, Seiha ends up getting in the most freaked out position ever, and Arata folded faster than a Gen Zer seeing a job application. She starts chatting again, talking about, can any two people come to trust each other completely if they spend 50 years together? Or does it take an instinctual spark at point of first contact? Sorry gang, but this is not Scott Pilgrim. Arata tries his hardest not to fold, and conveniently, Seiha's body gives out. She palms his face like she Sung Jin Woo and simply folds the twister mat like nothing ever happened. This is the end of their solo interaction this season, but you know my ass had to read the manga, and let's just say, shit's gonna get dicey next season. I'ma leave her at a calm B on the tier list. Seiha telling the sisters that Katono has feelings for Arata is the domino effect of doom. At first it seems harmless, it's when they reunite with Katono and the bros, the episode ends with them walking together like a happy family. But as soon as that ending is done playing, they hit us with the post-credit scene of hell.
I love you.
Don't get your hopes up, since he meant that platonically. Quite literally, the most tsundere shit you can do. Arata even breaks the fourth wall and calls her out for it. But turns out, Minami was secretly watching, but turned around before she could hear the rest of what Ouka had to say. Minami might be the only sister not trying to get at Arata, and honestly, makes sense, since she's a tomboy. It honestly makes sense that she's the only one immune from falling in love with Arata. Unless Arata got that Playboy Cardi aura, she is not switching teams. As soon as I seen Cardi call Gio his wife on stage, I knew he was my goat. He deadass turned her ass straight. A feat not even the great Duke D-Block Dennis could pull off. Cardi is the goat, bruh. Stop playing with him. Turns out when Banri took Arata out to get a new phone, her true motive was to try and see what Arata's relationship with Ouka is. Since Minami told her Ouka confessed her feelings, but they decide to take things to text in order to keep stuff discreet. But Minami accidentally sends a message in the girls group chat and instantly deletes it, but the damage had already been done since Katono had already read the message. And this was the breaking point that led to her declaring war against all the sisters in the race for Arata's love. Minami is in shock about this turn of events, but she can't focus on that since she got a big tournament coming up. Like I said earlier, she's 2018 LeBron, single-handedly led her middle school to 3 trophies. We get to see her practice for the first time, and everyone on the team is glazing her. But most importantly, we're introduced to her mentor. Now, they run up the ones, and Minami gives straight BTA. It wasn't even close. Minami owes a lot to Now Senpai, since when she was a middle schooler, all the upperclassmen would make fun of her for being such a freak athlete. But now, went out of her way to befriend Minami and refine her skills, and that's the reason Minami is giving it her all to win this upcoming tournament. But unfortunately for her, she has a sprained ankle, which is extremely unfortunate since she earlier found out that Nao-chan got no college offers, meaning this is most likely the last time she can ever play competitive tennis. And this is where Big Bro of the Year comes in, as he notices Minami has been acting a little off recently, so he decides to become her personal trainer, and she got word from their maid that Minami had injured herself. He tries to explain to her how it's not worth the risk to play since she might pull a D-Rose, but even then, she's insistent because there's someone who she wants to win for, and Arata can't help but smile, which is why he's so surprised when Minami reveals the next day that she's not playing in the final, while smiling. Even after barging into her room, Minami continues to act like everything's a-okay with her upbeat personality, so out of respect, Arata lets her be. But Nagi from Wish ends up telling him that he saw her crying this morning and decided to just let her be. These two siblings are twins, by the way. This nigga deserves to be murked. L Brother of the Year. Turns out after the quarterfinal game, Nao-chan noticed Minami was having trouble walking and immediately told their coach. And this scene of Minami crying because she wants to get the dub for her sensei just to get hit with the heart is so big. I forgot Reiji's the one who wrote this story for a second. I ain't gonna lie though, you think Reiji was Fujimoto, since the next sequence of events is absolute cinema. Arata barges into Minami's room and is like, "Here we go!" The whole fam is in the minivan and it's a race to make it to the finals on time. They end up getting stuck in traffic and it's looking grim, but Katono points out that there's rental bikes and Arata instantly runs out the car and commits to pedaling Minami to the court. Just look at him, bro. This is that real dedication. This is why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT. They finally arrive, but just her being here isn't enough to let her play. So Arata gets on all fours and begs the team to let Minami play. She steps onto the big stage, but for the first time in her career, she's felt pressure. But like my sunshine, LeBron Raymond James Sr. once said, pressure is a privilege. And as soon as she hears her family on the sidelines, all her nerves ease up. She has a beautifully animated, better than the beginning of the PowerPoint tennis sequence as she scores her first point. Both the team and her family cheer. This is it! She finally... It suddenly cuts to a very low energy team, and Minami naturally jokes about their defeat. She lost.
Defeat.
Her mentor ain't having it though. She bows and thanks Minami for carrying their bum asses, since without her, they wouldn't even be in this position. Arata goes looking for Minami just to find her all alone. She hits him with the good old, "I'm perfectly fine, Oni-chan," but Arata sees through the bullshit and brings her in.
I won't stop until I can beat everyone! I want to be the best in the whole world!
You will be. I know it.
I originally wanted to make a Blood Thinks She's Zoro meme, but that scene was so peak, it made me recreate that one Makima panel. No bullshit. I'm putting Minami at the top of A tier, simply for the fact she has the best character arc so far, and her dynamic with Arata is the most realistic out of them all. Just a little sister that admires her big bro with no signs of romance at all.
Let's please calm down
You
and talk it
insist on
out.
being so immature.
Is it happening to me? Is that possible?
Well, at least she's not as bad as... Ouka is the final boss of the sisters. You niggas saw the thumbnail. She's a menace to society. Yukisuo wishes she was on the same level as her. The scene that started it all. This scene indirectly led to Katono declaring her love for Arata, starting the great Alabama family era. You thought she made this declaration just because she saw a text message? How do I tell you, bro?
Flashback.
Shortly after Arata is done playing Twister with Seiha, Ouka spawns out of nowhere. She's simply just trying to... Arata is quite literally slouching and allowing Ouka to beat him. Peep how happy she is, bruh. She dead thinks she nice. This nigga Arata quite literally does the time to lock in meme and beats Ouka so bad that she resorts to violence, and somehow, someway, they end up positioned like this. Sweet home Alabama, baby. Like I said earlier, Arata a better man than me, cause if I saw this...
Oh, wow. You've grown up, Arata.
You got me.
She gets up and exits swiftly. I didn't even know it was possible to get this flustered. Been talking about some...
But next time, he better not hold back.
Stop. Take lives. What do you mean by that?
Arata ends up exiting the room shortly after, and guess what?
That's tough. My guy.
End of flashback.
Cut to the present day, and Katono presses Ouka, telling her she knows that she told Arata she loves him, and that she was also there when, awkward. Ouka ends up being like, oh, I meant it platonically. Katono gets excited and hits Ouka with the, and you're not in love with him or anything. And just look at Katono's eyes, bruh. So Ouka decides to be a W big sis and is like, that's right, Katono. That ass sheds a tear of joy. There's no limit to the glaze. Truth be told, Ouka is so confused by her feelings for Arata that it began to reflect on her academics. So she decides to go on a sudden vacation to clear her mind. A good old trip to the town of Mount Fuji in an attempt to reconnect with her deceased adoptive mother to talk about love, since this is the same exact spot where her and her father met. But 3 days pass and nothing has happened, and Arata has come to take her back. They end up having a late night talk where Ouka asks if Arata thinks soulmates are real, talking about some, they could be anyone, maybe even your sibling.
So today I'm asking my little brother if he's ever going to get married. Okay, so do you ever want to get married? No.
Why?
Because you're my sister. No!
Somehow this little shit understands this more than every woman in this family. Arata wakes up the next day to Ouka, leaving a note that she's going home, but he's not falling for that bullshit. Ouka ends up arriving at the top of the mountain again and nothing happens. Turns out the earrings he's holding are a gift from her mom. It's revealed that when her parents first met, her mom had breathing issues due to the altitude, so her father carried her all the way back down. Ouka wakes up stranded and she slipped on her way back, leaving her unconscious with a sprained ankle. And to make things even worse, she drops one of her earrings and struggles to find it because of the fog. As soon as she picks it up, she notices a reflection, and just like her father did with her mom on that fatal day, Arata is here to rescue Ouka. During their walk back, Ouka believes the reason her mom didn't appear is since she's not her biological daughter. She truly believes that she has no true family. She can't even have a proper talk with her father no more because the thought of it all being fake scares her too much. Arata uses talk no jutsu and tells Ouka that even if they're not really twins, he doesn't ever need a reason to be there for her. Fast forward, and Ouka ends up getting crutches. They finally make it back down, where the rest of the family just so happens to be waiting for them. They arrive back home, but Arata got a fever. Ouka ends up visiting his room that night and says this is all her fault, and that him coming to rescue her finally answered the lingering question in her mind, that he's the boy she's in love with, as she then proceeds to hit Arata with the Orihime special. But unlike Ichigo, Arata was actually awake and heard everything. Gotta put Ouka at the top of S tier, simply for the fact that she looking like 2016 Curry out there, straight stunting on niggas. She's clearly in the lead right now. Might as well just give her ass that unanimous MVP. Now that we have broken down all of our competitors, this season all comes down to one final arc, a good old family retreat. Which sister will come out on top? Well, you're about to find out.
Days later.
The Shiunji family arrive at their family retreat for the first time in 3 years. This spot costs 500k a year. What the fuck kind of drugs is their pop selling, bruh? Arata still can't get his mind off the fact that his adoptive twin gave him a kiss. She walks up to him and his eyes instantly lock on her lips.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Whenever he's alone with her now, the lights are simply too bright. Peep how he tries to skip the cutscene.
Fine then! You've chosen this fate, so no mercy!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
They hop in the sauna, and with no hesitation, this nigga's eyes lock in on her physique. What did Kyrie say again? Oh yeah, don't let your thoughts win. Don't let your gooner thoughts win, dog. Arata quickly exits the tent since the pressure was too much for him, and Ouka starts playing offense. She asks Arata whatever happened to the girl he had a crush on. Little did she know, this nigga had the most traumatic experience. He simply says he lost interest in her, and Ouka's face lights up and she skedaddles away. Arata might be a little since why does he look so confused that she's happy? Oh, my adoptive twin sister that kissed me the episode before just so happens to get in a good mood after I told her my crush got took. Must be a coinkydink. Arata can't even catch a breather since Minami spawns out of nowhere, and next thing you know, they're at a flower garden, and Minami's fit is tough. She got that shit on, no cap. Arata finally has social awareness for once and realizes that they're surrounded by couples, and that he's never seen Minami act this feminine in his life.
Hey, Sheen. Huh? I'm actually in love with someone right now.
Yeah, no amount of copium can save me. Minami got infected with the Alabama virus. They visit the gift shop and Arata still can't comprehend Minami's behavior. He calls back to her saying she's in love, but that just triggers an Ouka jump scare. This bit lives in his head rent free, just like how Reiji lives in mine.
The next day.
The fam go cliff diving and Banri, the ISO specialist, makes her move. She does the traditional teasing, but you can tell by her vibe that shit might be a little more serious this time. She manages to lead them far away from everyone else and...
Ski.
Ruff! Do something! Thanks to plot convenience, Arata ain't hear what she said, but guess who fucking did? She might be the greatest lurker since Prime Nats. How the fuck does he always manage to be somewhere at the right time? She later ends up asking Arata if he could go to the vending machine with her. The machine was so far away that they had to call an Uber. Katono clearly is struggling to speak, so Arata just tells her to spit it out, and she just starts crying. And I actually felt bad for her, since her whole life she's always felt like she's the problem. She blames herself for being the reason Ouka ran off, and when they were toddlers, she ended up getting caught in a strong tide at the retreat. Even at such a young age, she believed no one cared for her, but Arata put his life in jeopardy to save her, and it was this singular moment that made her wish that he could be more than just her big brother. Hold up, his writing is this fire?
Later that same evening,
the fam end up closing out the trip with a good old candle celebration. But wait a minute, where's the other sisters at?
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Katono ends up telling Ouka and Minami that she saw the text that Minami accidentally sent in the group chat and that she deadass loves Arata. But Minami's like, sorry little sis, but I love him too. And remember that whole conversation she had with Ouka a few episodes back? Ouka's casually just like, yeah, I love Arata, gang. I capped. Sorry, not sorry. Just look at Katono's honest reaction to this information, dog. She knows she can't hang with these two. And to end this season off strong, Arata heard that whole conversation. Wait, you really thought the season would have that simple of a conclusion? Reiji wrote this shit, nigga. He gotta make sure he ends this dumpster fire with a bang. It was still too soon for us to learn the truth that among us, there was another pair of real siblings. Not gonna lie, I got a hunch on who the related pair can be. It might actually be GG's for Katono. If I'm her, I'm hanging it up, literally. How can I end this video without giving Arata the title of Golden Boy? This guy's morals are as strong as they come. Even with all the temptation in the world, he still refuses to give in. He truly does value family. And even though Reiji is the one behind this story, I truly do believe that he's not gonna end up with any of the sisters, but instead end the series by successfully teaching them the value of family, even if they're not truly related. Wait, when did this happen? Arata has a kid? But who's the mom? Nah, it can't be, bro. No way, it can't.
Yo, this chakra shit bad fire, bro. I'm feeling mad huge.
Hey, bro, you heard there's a new round of girlfriend season, right?
What's a girlfriend? What she mean, right? A girlfriend, bro?
Yo, bro, right here.
Yo, bro. Episode 43? Who's watching this?
Wait, that means